Good day, here we are again with the latest video update on Tropical Storm Nalgae or Quiel. It is the 2nd of October 2011. It's 8:30 Zulu, 4:30 p.m. Philippine time, 5:30 p.m. Japan time. Yes, the title is right. Nalgae has weakened now to a tropical storm as it continues to move away from Luzon. You can see here, last located 510 kilometers northwest of Manila. It's right over here. Maximum sustained winds have now weakened to 110, gusting to 140 kilometers per hour. And you can also see Nalgae has slowed down a little bit, now moving westward at 20 kilometers per hour. You can see in this visible image, the storm has really taken a hit after making landfall in Luzon yesterday actually. And then you can see it looks fragmented. It looks doesn't look symmetrical anymore. Although the center is still there, and you can see also in this infrared image, still has very strong convective activity, particularly near the center. Although, as you can see, as you notice, the eastern and northern side of the storm kind of looks empty, actually, so to speak. Here, the southwestern quadrant looks healthy, actually, but again, the other sides of the storm looking paltry and unhealthy at the moment due to, again, the increasing wind shear around these parts here in South China Sea. And this is also supported again by that microwave image taken about 2 hours ago. Here, see the southwestern portion exhibiting the most active of convections, while again the northern and eastern half of the storm not really exhibiting much of any sort of activity or any sort of banding actually on the mid-levels. But again, the center is right over here and still has center is right over here actually, 16.8 north, and still exhibiting good convective activity. And this is why agencies are still keeping it as a strong tropical storm around 110 kilometers per hour. Now, as for Nalgae here in the Philippines, its effects right now, we still have signal number 1 up for 4 provinces: Pangasinan, La Union, Zambales, and Ilocos Sur. Remember, this is as of 11 a.m. today. We do expect Pagasa to completely drop all those signal warnings by their 5 p.m. update, and I will give you the latest on those warnings that should come up in less than an hour now. But again, the sad news is that we did receive some death toll. Now, the updated death toll combined actually from Nesat and Nalgae is around 55, according to the National Disaster Risk and Reduction and Management Council of the Philippines here. Also noting many towns, provinces under serious and heavy flooding, definitely, and also destroyed lots of bridges, infrastructures, and agriculture. It's definitely going to be a big blow on the Philippine economy the final quarter of this year. In terms of the rain, you see we received around 100 to 200 millimeters of rain. Compare that with Nesat, which is around 300 millimeters for some areas. Nalgae really didn't really drop that much of amounts of heavy amounts. But remember, it was mainly due to the speed of the storm moving at an average of almost 30 kilometers per hour. Crossed Luzon in less than 8 hours compared to Nesat, which crossed more than around 12 hours, if I remember correctly. But again, the main thing is that this rainfall came less than a week after Nesat dropped the same or even greater amounts of rain about a week ago, which really compounded the problems in many river systems and dams. And actually, right now we still have reports of overflowing dams and dams continuously releasing water, particularly San Roque, Magat, Ipo, and Ambuklao dams here in north and central Luzon. So please stay safe out there, especially if you are living in the central provinces of Luzon, and just make sure to always coordinate with local authorities for the latest warnings and advisories that are specific to your area. Now, moving on here for Nalgae, so you can see it is now moving across South China Sea, which in this wind shear map has around 20 knots of wind shear and moderate amount of wind shear that as I said before, really inhibiting and causing the storm to continuously weaken as it moves across that area. And we do expect this to maintain tropical storm intensity. As far as the track goes, computer models still kind of have a differing solutions in terms of potential landfall. This is as of 00 Zulu. Latest computer model forecasts. Some are still, particularly here, GFS still bringing Nalgae towards Hainan by Wednesday, but while some models take this storm towards central Vietnam, more than I'd say 300 kilometers south of Hanoi by Wednesday, or early Thursday local time there, as a tropical storm. But the consensus right now, if you follow the median line, would be for this storm to track just south of Hainan beginning Wednesday, and then eventually make landfall in central Vietnam by either later Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, as a tropical storm, as a strong tropical storm actually. Although you can also see here in the tracks image, some models are also developing another system here east of the Philippines by the latter part of next week, also moving to the northwest, and don't really think this is 90W, because we'll talk about 90W later, but as you can see, models do seem to be developing something here, but upon closer inspection, most of them are actually developing just a very weak cyclone, a tropical depression at best, in terms of closed circulation, moving towards the northwest. Still going to be bringing rains, but in terms of strong winds, probably not in the same intensity as that of Nesat and Nalgae this week. But the potential track for this future storm, if it does form, would be to move northwest, although most of them taking it away from Luzon, which is really a relief if it does happen. Now going back to Nalgae here, forecasts from the official weather agencies. Let's start with JMA. So you can see taking it south of Hainan by Wednesday, and then presumably making landfall here in the central or northern part of Vietnam, south of Hanoi, by either Wednesday night or Thursday morning. JTWC also showed the same thing here, of that continued westward movement, and then passing just south of Hainan by Wednesday, and then again making landfall here in central Vietnam, south of Hanoi, and continuing into Laos and into Thailand. Remember, this is GTWC's 00 Zulu forecast, so a bit old now. Do expect their 6 Zulu forecast to come out anytime soon. We'll update you with that as well. But again, the same philosophy exists, and kind of agrees with the computer models and other forecast agencies here with JTWC. Now moving on to 90W, that invest east of the Philippines. You can see here it's embedded somewhat in the intertropical convergence zone, or monsoon trough, across the western Pacific, just north of Palau and Yap. And you can see those convective activity, bursts of convective activity near the center here, east of Visayas, around 600 kilometers east. But the good news is actually JTWC has stopped monitoring the system, noting that it has actually dissipated this morning, but due to again the high wind shear that I've noted earlier here in the Philippines, here east of the Philippines. See those 30 to 20 knot wind shear, which is not really conducive for any cyclone development at this time frame. As you can see, we do have lighter amount of shear just south of Guam, and this is where the next system could potentially form, which is what the models were kind of hinting at. Again, developing sometime the latter part of this week, either Thursday or Friday. And then we see that future storm moving into the Philippine Sea by this weekend. But have to note that we are now moving into that season, time of the year where we have this strong ridge. It's going to be building here in northern China, northern Asia, and that will push all the storms that are going to be forming, take it to the west, as we have seen with Nalgae and Nesat this month, and that pattern will probably continue on for the next 2 months now, and we would probably see future storms tracking just north of the Philippines if not make landfall. And remember, Typhoon Maggie last year formed around October and tracked westward, generally westward under that strong ridge there. So just something to keep in mind as we head into the final quarter of the typhoon season there. And that concludes the update for today. We'll have another update tomorrow. And also please do keep in mind, we'll put out a text update later today for the updated warnings from Pag-asa as well as from JTWC. So until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.